Good morning, and welcome back to another rant of mine. Joe Delgado here, Indestructible Me. For those of you watching, I am wearing a hat today because I'm a little self-conscious about my bad head. But life goes on. This is the show that gets you started, gets you up and at 'em, gets you activated, puts on that light bulb for the day, and hopefully we can talk about some great concepts that gets you aware of how you're living life, how you can make changes to improve. Maybe you impact the lives of other people around you. You just get consciously aware of the bullshit that we're listening to and ingesting all the time. That's what I did in my life, and I'm here trying to spread the word because I feel that at the end of the day, if everyone just understood that the separation from where they are today to where they want to go is just the perception, it's mindset. That's it. That's all we need to focus on. That's actually a great idea for an episode. But today we're going to talk about willpower. Today's episode, talking about willpower. So thank you for joining in. If you haven't done so already, subscribe so you get updates. And then share this out so we can help everyone. Because my goal is to help billions of people. And to get people to realize that that's the only thing that's holding them back. Is their own mind. What they tell themselves, what they can or cannot do. Anything is possible. Eliminate the I can't and replace it with I can. Instead of saying I can't do something, how can I? But leading up to today, we've been talking about habits, how to hack positive and good habits. So you can implement good habits and replace bad habits with good habits, and build literally a life where you're doing nothing but good habits that are working towards your goals. Find out your goals by writing down your goals every day. I talked about that. Talked about accountability, self-discipline. Yesterday, and then the last 2 days, I talked about taking an inventory of your life, finding out the good and the bad, good, bad, and the ugly of yourself. Looking to see what skills and talents you have, what you need to strengthen, and what liabilities you need to get rid of. And that was yesterday's episode, is clutter. So the great thing about it is willpower. You need willpower to clean that clutter up. Yesterday, I was talking about the fact that we have, it's mostly the people around us that's giving us clutter, the liabilities. Well, you need willpower to actually cut that clutter out. So it's either people, energy, people around you, the job, the environment you're in, maybe the house, maybe just the house that you're in. And that's the clutter. Maybe it's just actually physically clutter, like on your desk, your workspace, in your life. You need to clean that up physically. So you need willpower because most of that clutter is comfort. That's pretty much what it is. That's why I should have been talking about yesterday. I was talking about selfishness yesterday. But that's 100% true. I mean, it's selfish because it's providing you some type of comfort, whether it's being lazy, you're having relationships that it's just easier to stay with instead of going through a difficult conversation, a difficult breakup, difficult separation where you're like, I'm firing you out of my life. I'm getting rid of you. So that's going to be difficult. Having those conversations, doing those difficult things is going to be difficult. You need willpower to get rid of that. You need willpower to expunge those liabilities or clutter out of your life. So quick definition of willpower is the ability to control one's own actions, emotions, or urges. Also, it's strong determination What allows one to do something difficult? That's what we're doing, baby. We're doing difficult things. And that's cleaning up this clutter. So what you don't know, or you probably don't know, or what you haven't probably heard enough, is that willpower is finite. It's actually something that's in your body, and it's like a bucket. Every morning you wake up with a bucket of willpower. And it's a finite amount. So if your first thing cluttered that you need to clean up is hitting that snooze button, well, you getting up and not hitting that snooze button is expunging willpower. And depending on how much willpower you actually have, you might burn it out all right then and there. So the rest of the day, you're more prone to make decisions. So willpower essentially is a bucket, and it gets depleted based on stress. Life stresses and things like that. Things that are holding discipline, things that are not within your comfort zone, things that are going to be you're not accustomed to. That's essentially what willpower is. Anything that you're not accustomed to, stress, is essentially pulling or depleting your willpower out, your bucket of willpower. So again, if you wake up in the morning and you're used to hitting that snooze button and you need willpower to not hit that snooze button, well, you might be depleting it because you can strengthen willpower. You need to strengthen. How do you do that? It is putting yourself in environments so you're constantly going through things that you're not familiar with outside of your comfort zone. If you haven't done so yet, go to my site, NDESTRUCTIBLEYou.com. I'm talking about a fast that I'm doing. I'm doing a 7-day fast. I'm about 72 hours in. Currently, while I'm talking to you, that I do this to strengthen my willpower, to strengthen stress. I also have a video about one thing that makes you stronger with stress. Fasting improves stress levels, improve your tolerance on stress. And that's what you need for willpower. Because if you're trying to take on a ton of different things, you're trying to save money, trying to lose weight, eat healthier, and exercise, you're doing too many things that are literally going to deplete your willpower quickly, and then you're going to start making terrible decisions left and right, especially if you haven't cleaned up the bullshit around you. So you have people convincing you to not do the difficult thing, to indulge, to give in. So you need to be consciously aware of what's going to subtract your willpower. You need to figure out what can maybe strengthen your willpower every single day. I did a 10-day fast last month in December of 2021. And the one thing that really made me struggle in the very beginning was that I wanted to quit caffeine out. I was like, I'm just going to cut cold turkey at the same time of fasting, which wasn't really a great idea because that I was just miserable because I was going through a caffeine withdrawal on top of the stressing of fasting. So I unfortunately, I was a little bitch. I broke in. I started drinking coffee. I'm still drinking coffee. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna always fall back on drinking coffee. Like I just need to do that. So I just that's whatever. But that's an example. That's an example of especially if your willpower is not strong enough. And again, if like just the sheer you not hitting the snooze button, getting up, congrats, amazing. You gotta find a reward. Make sure that it's a healthy reward to solidify that habit and strengthen the willpower. I talked about this in habits, a way to hack it. The reward is crucial at the end of a habit. Or maybe if you're trying to change your habits with willpower, with something that's going to strengthen willpower, if I can talk, you reduce the below to absorbing willpower with how you're trying to achieve the new habit or a goal. Like maybe you make it easier for you to not hit that snooze button in the morning. So you put the phone away from you. You have to get up and walk. You have to put a bottle of water like on a phone. So you have to pick up that bottle of water. And you set up like a checks and balance. So even the worst case scenario, you give in to that difficult task. You go back to bed, the water is going to make you have to go to the bathroom or whatever. You have to do something in order for the task to be completed, right? So you maybe, again, you put your workout clothes in your work bag. So when you get to work and you're leaving work, you're like, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to the gym. Whatever it may be. Maybe you clear out all the garbage food in your house and you only put healthy food. So when your willpower is completely depleted and you know that you're prone to snack and eat garbage, when you're bored, you're tired, you're stressed out, the only option that you have is healthy food. So you literally eliminate, think. So when you do have a lot of willpower, or when your willpower is at the highest of the day, you do something to check yourself when you know your willpower is going to be depleted. That's why working out or exercising in the morning is the best. Not only that it's going to burn more calories throughout the day because you're exhausting your muscles, and while you do your normal function of living, you're just burning more calories. But if you complete it in the morning, you're less likely to take it off at night because your willpower is going to be depleted at night. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to be tired. You're going to give in to your indulgences, your laurels. You're not going to want to do difficult things, especially if it's not incorporated with your normal function of life. So doing it in the morning, you check that off immediately. Maybe just getting yourself to exercise depletes all your willpower. Boom. Then, but you know that that's taken care of. You know that 100% is your key to success or moving forward. And as you do that every single day, this willpower bucket will grow. It will strengthen. So jumping in and working out every morning doesn't deplete it as much. And then you're able to add on more difficult things throughout the day, which continuously builds. It just continuously accumulates. So, and then what you could do to mix with that willpower is, again, do something. So your willpower is at its highest in the morning. You do something to prevent yourself to fall backwards and later in the day. Like what I said, clean out your entire kitchen and only have healthy foods. So when you're at home, you're ready to binge eat and whatnot, you can only eat healthy foods. Maybe you delete all the apps on your phones and you delete all the accounts for ordering bullshit. Makes it harder. It puts another step into the process, so it will convince you to not do it. Hey, I got food here. Maybe you cancel all that streaming app bullshit, and maybe you take out your Apple TV, your Roku, whatever, and you put that away. Again, you add another step. You actually add difficulty to doing the bad behavior, and then that's going to convince you to not do it. And then you'll convince yourself to do something else. Take the difficulty out of it, as a check to you. So when you're about to go on to the bad behaviors, you convince yourself, you put more steps into it so it's harder to do, and then you literally fall back onto the good behaviors. No, you think about it and like, I don't really want to do this. I should just read. I should read, or I should work on my business. I should do more work. I mean, whatever. You go back to, and that strengthens your willpower as you do that from time to time. You have to understand that it's a finite amount every single day. So use it wisely and then strengthen that by forcing yourself to do difficult tasks, which is ideally working on good habits, positive habits, good behaviors. Working on your goals are going to be difficult because it's going to hopefully take you out of your comfort zone, and that's going to strengthen your willpower, or ideally going to reduce the absorbing of willpower. It's going to reduce the need of tapping into that willpower bucket so you can use it for other things. You know, maybe you first start, I'm going to say, start on your eating plan first before exercise. If you try to do both, it's going to be difficult. Some people could just do that. By all means, they might have stronger willpower. But if that is not a thing to you and your willpower is really weak and you get stressed out easily, I'm going to direct your attention to eating. And it's like 80% of health. And if you don't eat right, they can completely negate your exercise, your gains in the gym and working out routine. So eating is, and most people eat for emotional reasons because they don't have willpower. So that's the biggest ticket to hit. But as you strengthen that behavior and it becomes more and more prevalent in your life as that's the thing that you do. It's a byproduct of you living. The willpower will get depleted less and less and less as you're doing that task, those activities. And then you can add on other things. Then you can add on the gym. Then it'll be easier to actually exercise because you're probably losing weight. So the joint and muscle atrophy that you do have from not exercising will actually be built up from getting healthier. You'll be strengthened. So it'll be easier, it'll be more enjoyable, it'll be more pleasurable. And you start adding on things. And then on top of that, check yourself. Put stuff up. You know you're going to do something. You know you're going to do X later. So make it harder to do X so you fall back on good behaviors, on good habits. And I guarantee you, just try to check yourself. Try to figure out ways. But yeah, I know that I won't do this later if I have to do all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna, if I get home from work, I'm not gonna go back out to get something to eat if, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna eat whatever's at home. Especially if you're trying to save money. You don't want to spend $20 on fees, on delivery, and all this other shit when you just have kitchen worth food. Maybe it's people. Social media. You know that when you get bored, you go on social media and you're seeing all this bullshit. Unadd them. Or you create a new one and you delete the other accounts. And then you can only focus on growth or what your goals are. Create new social media accounts and add influencers that are literally adding value to your life. So you get those affirmations, and when you fall back on being difficult tasks or when you're tired and you just want to give into just waste time pleasures, you're replacing them. You open up Instagram, you're like, boom, you're getting punched in the face, reasserting what you want, how to do things to get to your goals and your targets. That's what I've done. It's a great thing. It's a hack when you try to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So you need determination, grit, baby, willpower. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear them. I want to know what you're thinking. How do you strengthen willpower? How do you check yourself? What are things that you do to prevent yourself from doing those bad habits? And how long did it take for you to do that until it was just, you didn't have to do that anymore. You didn't have to worry. You didn't have to worry about falling back on old behaviors. I want to know that feedback. Let me know. Follow me at indestructibleme.com or indestructibleme on every social media platform. Indestructibleme.com. Read my blog. Subscribe. I'm going to be posting a ton of stuff. If you don't want to see or hear my voice screaming at you. But we need to change the world, and I need your help doing it. This is the year we quit our bullshit out, and I need your help spreading that word and getting everyone to quit their bullshit out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And always be great.